Hi guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel, and this time I'm back with something new. I don't think I've done it yet. It's a formation battle. I don't know if it's necessarily a battle, but it's a comparison at least to see what the differences are between certain formations and explain them using some clips, examples, whatever. So the two formations we'll be talking about are the 4-2-1-3 and the 4-4-1-1. They've both been featured a lot on this channel, constantly been updated throughout the year, which will be the case for this video as well. I'll run through them quickly again, not that in depth as usual, and then what we'll do is talk about the differences or maybe also the similarities, just to see why you should opt for this formation in a certain scenario or with a certain game style or with the other. So let's get into it. Starting off with the 4-2-1-3. So, custom tactics. Balanced build-up, high defensive approach with a depth of 70. Yeah, pretty basic instructions. So, sweeper, keeper, defender, fullback, defend. A deep line playmaker build-up, which is the most interesting one, I would say, in this 4-2-1-3, because it allows the DMs to go forward as well and help a bit more around the opponent's box. Playmaker balance. Inside forward on the wingers and roaming, which is also an option, and advanced forward attack. So these are the 4-2-1-3 custom tactics. You can find the code in the screen here under the name default tactic. Then let's head over to the 4-4-1-1 custom tactics. 4-4-1-1, pretty similar. Balanced with the high defensive approach, but this time we put the depth on 90 to be more aggressive. And I'll come to that a bit later, but the instructions are similar to player roles, I should say. Sweeper, keeper, defender, defend, fullback, defend, inside forward, holding, defend, which we chose for with the center mids, playmaker, balance, advanced forward, attack. So pretty much the same player roles except for the DMs and CMs. So in terms of tactics, not a lot changed. It's more about, of course, the positions. So let's get into it. The first big difference we have to talk about is the positions, because before we understand what works better in some scenarios, we need to know what's different. So the back four stays the same, nothing changes there. In 4-4-1, you of course have the center mids. In a 4-2-1-3, you got the CDMs. So what does that mean? CMs are of course a bit better going forward, but a bit worse in tracking back. So defensively, you're better off with CDMs, and offensively, you're better off with CMs. The cam is the same, the striker stays the same, but in the 4-2-1-3, we have left wingers and right wingers, or left winger and right winger. In the 4-4-1, of course, we have left mid, right mid. So what does this mean? Of course, the left mid, right mid will be a bit further back in attack, but also, of course, in defense. So it makes defending, in that case, a bit more easy. And with the left and right winger, the counter-attack is more dangerous and they'll be a bit further in the build-up. So what will most of the times happen is, in 4-2-1-3, you defend with the 4 defenders, the 2 DMs, and maybe if you're lucky, your cam drops a bit back. And when you win the ball back in 4-2-1-3, you can immediately go for the counter-attack because your 3 forwards and your cam are waiting for the ball. So especially if your opponent is pressing with his right back, or attacking with his right back or left back or whoever, that leaves a big space for us, because that's the moment we gotta be alert. So we see him attack with his right back, you gotta already know, okay, we take the ball from him, we go immediately to our left winger because his right back is gone. And this is why this formation is so strong. It's because of the counter attack. With the 4-4-1-1, if you look at the wingers, they always drop a bit deeper in the build-up, of course, so it may be more easy to build up from the back. And they help defend a bit better. So in that case, defending on the wings becomes a bit easier because the wingers help you out, so you can double up on certain scenarios. This also does mean that in the transition from defending to attacking, it takes more time to get forward. So these are things you always have to consider. So in the 4-2-1-3, it's heavily dependent on counter-attack and soaking up pressure with only defending with 6, but you defend with CDM, so in the middle it's pretty busy. That way it's difficult for your opponent to attack through the middle, but on the wings he'll have a lot more space. And with the 4-4-1-1, it's more about possession, normal tempo build up, but you don't defend with CDM, so in the middle you're a bit more exposed than in the 4-2-1-3, but on the wings it's better because you can double up. I think also personally pressing in the 4-4-1-1 is better because as you can see in these clips here, it's so connected. The wingers don't just give up on on defending, they'll be a bit back, and you almost have no space really to play from the back. The only problem with the 4-4-1 is if they're past that midfield, the CMs are just not running back as good as the DMs of the 4-2-1-3. So these are a few differences you guys need to consider. So let's make a conclusion of this. Which one is better? If you are a more fast player, if you are more of a counter-attack player, I definitely recommend 4-2-1-3 because with this formation, the counter-attacks are second to none. It's the best and the most dangerous. And when your opponent makes a mistake, you can immediately punish him. When you prefer to have more of a normal tempo build-up, then of course 4-4-1-1 is still a very good option. You probably have more control over the game than in the 4-2-1-3. The 4-2-1-3, the speed of the game is very high because you're constantly up and down, attacking, defending. And in a 4-4-1, it's a bit more chilled. So, is one better than the other? Not really. Just depends on the game situation and whatever your game style is. So, this was the end of the video. We made a comparison between the two formations. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, which one is better. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you for the next time. Bye.